Okay, guys, in this session, actually, we are going to see more about models. Okay, in the forthcoming section, actually, we are going to implement access control, logging, and we are going to implement. We are going to see about CGI, Common Gateway Interface, scripting, how they are doing it in web server. So we are going to see all these models. These are some advanced models to perform access control. We need set of models to be enabled. Okay, we just will see what are the list of models. What you have to do is just go to your documentation section, 2.2 documentation section. There, if you go to server and supporting programs under configure, you could see the list of models which are enabled by default and which are disabled by default. Okay, so just go under models enabled by default. So these are the list of models which are enabled by default. Okay, so in order to implement access control mechanism, we need a rewrite model to be enabled and set env model to be enabled. You can just have a look here. Okay, if you want to implement the compression, then you have to enable default deflate, and if you want to implement caching, then you have to enable disk caching, mem caching, and file caching as well. And here actually what I'm going to do is in access control, I'm just going to implement these three access controlling mechanism. First one is access control by host, access control by host. Next one what we are going to implement is access control by environment variables, and the third one what we are going to implement is mod rewrite mechanism. To implement this rewrite, we need this rewrite model to be enabled. Okay, what I have to do is I have to enable the rewrite model, SOO model, and to implement this, you need to enable the set env model to be loaded in the http.conf main configuration file. And for this, you no need to include anything. Okay, so before going into this particular session, we just need to see how to install all these models in your web server directory, models directory. So in this session, actually, we are going to enable those models. So we'll see what are the list of steps that we need to implement to perform this. Okay, so as I told you earlier, just go to server supporting, configure. There you will find the syntax. You can just paste it over here. Okay, as similar to installation, you need to run this 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? You need to run all these 3 steps: configure, prefix with some additional arguments, and you need to run make and make install. So these 3 steps you need to perform again. So just verify your models directory first. So there is nothing inside it. You can just navigate inside it. So there is nothing inside it. So we are going to install now the rewrite model. Okay, so we will see how to do that. So do this, configure, and just go here and just look for the syntax. So something similar to this. So mod shared enable, mod shared, you can give all, or if you want to enable only rewrite, then you can just give rewrite here. Okay, so I'm going to do this step now. So just I'm going to my downloads. So I'm going to give configure, and I need to give in the prefix hyphen prefix my default directory, and I need to specify now this enable mod shared argument now, and just give rewrite. Okay, so just give enter. This will look through this list of files, just similar to installation. Just run through the steps. So just now run make. So if you see make, so here find, just give make install as well. I think somewhere you can see the list of models that is getting generated. Otherwise we can verify it in the model section as well. This may take a while, just wait for a couple of seconds. Yeah, that's done. So go to the model section now. There, there, there you go. So you got the rewrite model, ISO model available now. So this is how to do all this stuff. So I'm just going to install some other models as well. Along with read write, I want to set env, yeah, set env. So I'm going to do in next session. I'm going to do this particular. Going to use this model, so I'm going to install this set env. Just go here. You can just copy this set env if along with the read write, and what else you want? You want any other thing? You want rewrite, you want this, and I'm going to use CGI in my next session. So I'm going to install all these three models. So just keep enter as similar to the one earlier. So just give make. Make install. Just verify it. So we have CGI model now, rewrite model now, env model now. We can just load those using load model directive in http.conf file using. And what is .so file? It is a dynamic shared object file which is similar to DLL file which is available for Windows. So you can just at runtime you can just refer these libraries and you can derive the functionalities of rewrite, CGI, and set env models. So that's it for the session, guys. So this is how you need to enable the list of models in Apache web server. Okay, so you can just go here to get the syntax and get to configure, and you can just look through this documentation and you can get the list of things that need to be installed. Okay, just you can use this. You can enable one by one, or else you can just enable all together using this mod shared, something like this, right? So you can just give all, and you can just install all the .so files. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next session.